Good. Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the new name, the Governance Standing Committee meeting for October 7th, 2025. I'm going to be calling the meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. The weather has changed. We've gone from summer to winter. And this is our acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional land of the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, which is represented by the communities of Saugeen First Nation and Chippewas and Nawash Unceded First Nation. We also think of the Métis Nation of Ontario, whose history and people are well represented in Bruce and Grey counties. Just to note that if any of the student senate who were not sworn in at the regular meeting in September, your next time to be able to be sworn in is next regular meeting of the board, which is later this month. In attendance this evening, we have two trustee Morgans on the screen. That's right. So you only get one vote though, trustee Morgan, let you know. And also who maybe take Katie's name. Okay, wait, is she there? Yeah. And trustee Lutz. Yeah, I see that. So trustee Lutz is also in attendance. And I realize that trustee McComb may attend, although she is not a part of this committee, although she can ask questions and comment. Okay, so I'm going to go to the approval of the agenda. Is there any new business to add to this agenda this evening? And I see none, so that the agenda for the Governance Standing Committee meeting for October 7th, 2025 be approved as printed. Could I have a move for that, please? Thank you, trustee Lutz. All in favor? And that is carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest on any of the items before you this evening? There is none. We don't have any delegations. And now we're moving down to staff reports. As I'm going to put the recommendation on the floor, I ask that the Superintendent of Education, LaFave, come forward to speak to this report. And here is the recommendation that the Blue Water District School Board consider for approval that Bruce Peninsula District School students participate in the France and Italy 2027 field trip from April 9th to the 16th, 2027, contingent that it aligns with all travel advisors at the time of the trip. And can I have a mover? I see trustee Thompson. Oh my goodness, the screen just did something. That's okay. And I did something on my screen. Thank you. I have no idea how that happened. I am stuck there. Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, I can get it print out. Okay. I have. And trustee Thompson actually moved that, and I'm sorry about that. Trustee LaFave. Trustee Superintendent Fave.
Thank you. Through the chair, I'm happy to introduce a few student senators to you who will be sharing with you about an upcoming trip next year to France and Italy. This is the France and Italy 2027 trip, and it's both Bruce Peninsula District School as well as Walkerton District Community School. We'll be attending this trip, and the two student senators have some presentations for you, sharing with you what they plan to be doing, and I hope that you enjoy this. Quinton is coming up first, and Quinton, Jankett, correct? Yes, I knew I could get that. So Quinton is going to be sharing with you. He is the student senator from Bruce Peninsula District School. What? Sorry, I'm going to tell.
Good evening, trustees, BWDSB School Board Superintendents, and fellow student senators. I'm here tonight to talk to you about our proposal trip to Italy and France in April 2027. Brisbane District School, BWDSB, has a long-standing tradition of successful travel to Europe, including a life-changing trip to the Netherlands, Belgium, and France in 2025. These trips provide students with unique opportunities to expand their cultural horizons and immerse themselves in the global world. In May of 2025, I had the privilege to participate in our school's joint trip with Washington, the Netherlands, and France. We joined several other schools for events planned by Explorica, the Netherlands, and France. Sorry, I just a little bit. In order to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the Netherlands by visiting Bergen op Zoom and Overland Warden with Passchendaele War Memorial and Benny Ridge. These events brought history to life and helped us understand the deep historical relationship between Canada and the Netherlands. This trip marked a major milestone in my life and was truly life-changing. This type of rich learning cannot be experienced solely in a classroom. It is because our teachers are deeply committed in this type of experiential learning that they have prepared the trip proposal for April 2027. Our proposed tour will start out by visiting Nice, France, where our French language students will have the opportunity to participate, practice their French language skills on this trip. Students will also learn about the unique agriculture practices of farmers in the Côte d'Azur region. They will discuss irrigation methods and learn more about essential oil production, discussing sustainable goals. A key focus of our tour is specialized high school major in the environment. As the United Nations Educational President Cultural Organization, UNESCO, and Eagle School. A lot of time is spent incorporating sustainability, equity, and social justice issues into our lessons. And for us, we will continue our discussion of sustainability and practice, participating in a hands-on leather-making workshop. Our students will get to view and learn about famous works of art at the Agricultural Academy Gallery. Furthermore, students will visit the Palace in Monaco and learn about the future of college. Sorry, a little nervous here. First time in big groups. We will also visit the Roman Forum and discuss the connection between Canada's democratic system and those of ancient Rome. We will visit many ancient agricultural buildings, which will be exciting for our technology, physics, and art students. By partnering with Washington District Secondary School, students will build relationship with other BWDSB students while making the trip more cost-effective and equitable for students. We partnered with WDCS on our previous trip, and the partnership was excellent. Although I am sad I will not be able to participate in such an amazing trip because I am graduating, I'm very excited for my friends that are currently at BWDS to attend it. I'm certain that this will be an eye-opening and life-changing experience for them. That's why I'm here to ask for your approval, BWDS, and Washington's joint trip 2027. I would love for my friends to have an opportunity to not just learn about history, but to experience it. Please consider approving this trip. Thank you for your listening. Sorry.
Excellent. Excellent.
Because this is a partner trip, it might be wise for us to have Superintendent Elliott come up and introduce the student senator from Walkerton, and then you could ask them if you have questions after.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna do that, so then I'm gonna put, even though it's totally against Robert's rules, if you have two motions on it, just to let you know that I am overriding that. And I'm putting the second motion on the floor. You know, it's a demo. If anybody messes up, not my fault. Okay, that the Blue Water District School Board consider for approval that Walkerton District Community School students participate in the France and Italy 2027 field trip, April 9th to the 16th, 2027 contingent, so that aligns with all travel advisories at the time of the trip. And I'm gonna get trustee Thompson to welcome you with the same motion, just to let you know, and welcome.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to introduce Leopold Baker, we call Leo, to talk about the trip from Walkerton.
We'll let you know now, I'm not as tall as Quentin, it's not really. Hello, trustees, superintendents, fellow student senators. My name is Leopold or Leo, and I'm a student of Walker District, or WDCS, commonly known. Last year, our students were immersed in a trip of a lifetime which shaped them and helped change how they see and interact with the world around them. While I was not a member of the trips to the Netherlands and France last year, I know many of my friends who were, who can only speak to the importance they found in the travel. This past May, they were welcomed overseas for the 80th anniversary of the liberations of the Netherlands, learning about history, culture, and the Canadian connection to these important moments in history. In fact, I have a friend who, after experiencing this trip, started looking into post-secondary for history as it sparked such a connection with him. I told him that I would include that, and he was really happy about that. The students on this trip spoke about the importance of seeing the unique architecture and learning about the unique history behind the facades. Everyone on the trip loved the realization that even though others on the street might not have understood us through our language, they were all extremely welcoming and friendly. And even during my peers' free time, they found many beneficial and enriching activities and loved every moment of it, including the simple things like trying to balance on the public transit as they drove off. Walkerton is newer to the tradition of international trips, but has been greatly committed to these past initiatives, which is why I'm excited to say we are participating, hopefully, in the April 2027 trip to Italy and France, also hosted through Explorica. This trip gives students another way to view history, arts, and culture from an up-close and immersive way. As someone who's hopefully pursuing a post-secondary through a bachelor degree of illustration, I want to share the parts that excite me the most about this upcoming schedule. So students will have the opportunity to visit important art historical places and gain hands-on guided learning, such as the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Baptistry in Florence, with a complete painted ceiling and important historical sculptures. Also, they will visit the Academia Gallery, which houses Michelangelo's monumental sculpture David. Additionally, they will see the Vatican City and walk through the Sistine Chapel and St. Peter's Basilica, which has many more of Michelangelo's jaw-dropping pieces. This trip will also provide our students interested in history time to reflect on the impact these movements like the Renaissance and even present-day technological movements that have changed how countries interact and have impacted the world around us, with important locations such as a guided ancient Rome tour or important monuments like Giotto's Bell Tower, which is an emblematic of the city of Florence's important Gothic architecture, which can be viewed from every vantage point in the area. Also, you will both see in your application form in the description, there's an important donation to mention. Both schools involved in the trip received a large and astounding donation of up to $5,000 to support the cause of the deserving student, with the goal to help make the trip more affordable for one, or to be split across the group to make it more generally affordable. This contribution is in honor of Olivia Rourke. She was a member of the last WDCS Europe trip and passed away shortly after the trip ended. I had the great and insurmountable privilege to know Olivia personally. She upheld what it meant to be a river hawk and truly embodied a determined, kind, and caring spirit. More than that, she was a great friend. I hope with this, her legacy and impact will continue forward, because I know I speak for all of WDCS when I say that Danica, Rowan, Cadence, Olivia, and Eckert's memories are still held close for all of us, and we would not wish anything but to remember them dearly in the joyful and wonderful ways that they were. The final decision for how the donation selection process will happen is to be developed with the Rourke family privately. Bruce Peninsula's donor wishes to remain anonymous and will choose the recipient based on an application. And additionally, we have a robust funding raising plan that we have made kind of a conservative estimate about to hopefully make the trip more accessible to those requiring financial assistance as well. Our school is dedicated to providing unique and life-changing opportunities. We hope to give our students more chances to connect to the history which has shaped our past and continues to shape our future. As a student myself, I can speak to the importance that arts and culture have made on my life and time while in school. And while I might not be back for a grade 13 year, as I'm in grade 12 now, I know how important having the opportunity to see the world and know there's more out there than the small town we now is. I hope all my fellow peers in Walker and Bruce Peninsula the best of luck if this is approved, as I can confidently say that a trip like this will shape their minds and continue to put more interest in the topics we continue to support and teach. Thank you.
I'm thinking Explore can I want to hire Newport and Clinton to help promote their trips because I think they would do an excellent job.
Yes.
And congratulations to both the schools for really, we did ask them to be aggressive and work things about their fundraising, and they have brought this trip down to a very reasonable cost. So thank you to those schools, and Principal Morrison is here supporting the Washington School. Thank you for doing that.
Hey, that was, that Cooper Falls really did a great presentation. So thank you very much. So questions, comments concerning the trips? Go ahead, Trustee Lutz online.
Thank you very much. So first of all, again, absolutely fantastic presentations, and these look like absolutely fantastic trips. I have a highly procedural question to ask. I know trips are contingent on formal travel advisories, but given that, you know, in recent years we've had pandemics, we've seen other school boards cancel trips when there weren't formal advisories. I'm just asking if we have a plan for if there is a situation where without a formal advisory, it might be advisable to cancel. Thank you.
Through the chair, this is something that historically, while I've been on the senior team the last 5 years, we have always looked at this on a case by case basis, and depending on what the situation is. Even last year, we canceled plans to go to the States because we knew as a board, you had made the motion around supporting businesses and buying products outside of Canada. We also felt it was prudent that we cancel those proposed trips. So I would think we can operate for the future. I don't know what is in what the future holds in April 2027. However, I know that this team and together with the trustees, we can make the right decision about whether we should be traveling.
And thank you. And I also would think to Superintendent LaFave, if there was a concern coming forward from a trustee that it would be, you know, they can come back and say, you know, hey, we'd like to, you know, reconsider that. So.
Of course, and the insurance plans also include if there is a travel plan in it that happens that causes us to cancel, and there's the full refund for those people that are less than lost. Less than lost.
Thank you. Is there other questions, comments concerning these fabulous trips? Go ahead, Trustee Craig.
I think trips are fabulous wherever they go, but I find myself wondering if the schools or the board have ever considered where they might go beyond Europe or USA. In particular, two of my favorite countries are in this hemisphere, Cuba and Costa Rica. In addition, I wonder if Asia has ever been on anybody's agenda, because that's a totally different cultural experience. So what about getting beyond Europe, despite the fact that I absolutely love all those countries in Europe?
So I have not seen any, this is completely based on what schools are, they're the ones who drive the interest in this, and they're the ones that listen to the students and the families. I know that we have had a trip in the past to Asia. I believe that was Cape Garden, was it, years ago? Mr. Zori, he was on that trip. Yeah, so there was a trip to Asia. That's been a little while. I know those trips would probably be cost prohibitive and well over the $4,000. We kind of earmarked as what we view as reasonable for students and families to be able to fundraise and be able to afford. And I have not seen anyone come forward with any Caribbean, Latin America trips, but you raised a good point. They are, again, wonderful opportunities as long as where we're going, you know, we're safe to travel for sure.
Trustee Thompson.
Just a quick comment. I've been approached by staff and students that participated in the last trip that these two schools took together, and just said, please, continue to support them. They were so valuable for the students. So much learning, so much opportunity for them, and, hope that we would never not be improving these opportunities for our students. I just want to make that comment.
Further questions, comments, go ahead, student trustee Bill.
So I just had two things. The first one was for trustee Craig. I know that our school has gone to Costa Rica last year over lunch break. I think it was students in biology or any other kinds of sciences, but I do think, like, as they were saying, it was a bit more expensive than $4,000 probably. So that's most likely why we haven't been able to go to places like that more, but we have done it. And I also had a question for you, do you know where the recess went allegedly?
I am trying to remember back. I cannot recall exactly where they went to, but I know it was a trip to Asia. I'm gonna have to double check that. Exactly where that was. Are you looking that up? He's texting someone. Okay. The trip to Costa Rica, I believe, was done through a private agency, so that's a for-profit type of endeavor. So the price may have been higher in that case. We certainly keep our prices as low as we can. We're not looking at making some money.
Any further comments or questions concerning the trips before you that are going to the same place? I don't see any, so I'm gonna try to combine the two motions into one motion, just to let you know. Although it'll look like it was two motions, okay. That the Blue Water District School Board consider for approval that the Bruce Peninsula District School students participate and the Walkerton District Community School students participate in the France and Italy 2027 field trip, April 9th to the 16th, 2027 contingent. That it aligns with all travel advisories at the time of the trip, and trustee Thompson move both of those, all in favor. Raise your hands and know what you want to do. And that has passed. Thank you very much. So, student trustees, you can absolutely put your hand up or down or not approve something, that it gets recorded, but if you can, physically show that, you might, maybe change someone's votes about how you vote. Let you know, I'm doing politics now. Okay, next. Okay, we're now at B1B, has to do with staff recruitment. And these are reports for information. I'd like to invite Superintendent of Education McEwen to speak to the report. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Superintendent Lee. So I'm here this evening to share with you a little bit of information about staff recruitment here in Blue Water District School Board. We are very proud of the efforts around recruitment and are very proud of what we have to offer in terms of employment and the recruitment of talent. The first thing I will talk about is that we are committed to continuous recruitment. Over the past few years, we have adjusted our recruitment strategy to become more agile. So that means that we are recruiting staff on a very regular and consistent basis. And we're also doing it in a responsive way based on area or region, as well as based on job group. We also look at our streamlining of onboarding, and so we spent a lot of time discussing how we onboard staff, looking at mandatory training, as well as additional training that is required by our staff. And we have developed a new onboarding training site called My Learn BW that we will be launching later this month, where we will be storing our content and giving easy access to those that we hire in order to meet the requirements related to onboarding. To give you an idea of recruitment, one of the areas that we focus on is related to elementary teaching. And Over the past few months, specifically over the summer and into this fall, we had recruitment efforts looking at recruitment of vocational teachers. And when we think about what that means for our casual or our occasional staff, we were able to recruit 100 employees in the last few months. 58 were elementary teachers and 42 of them were secondary teachers. And this is really important because it's important that we have staff who are available to fill permanent vacancies as well as occasional daily jobs and long-term occasional jobs. When we think about recruitment for our educational support professionals, we have recruited 43 temporary workers. 35 of them for educational assistants and 8 early childhood educators. Again, this is an area based on data that we know we need to have targeted recruitment efforts. We need people, we need great qualified people in these areas in order to support our students across our system. In addition, I will let you know that we are interviewing this week for our office professional worker group. As well, we have 14 new supply custodians that will be participating in training next week. So we have 1 recruitment officer. So when you think about the number of staff that we have been able to recruit over the last few months, she works in collaboration with our administrators and others in our HR department to ensure that we were able to fulfill both the interview and onboarding aspects of these roles. So what else do we do in HR? How else do we reach out and connect with people across the region? Well, one way we do that is by attending education career fairs. We plan on attending fairs at Brock, Laurentian, Lakehead, which is specific to the Aurelia campus, Laurier and Western this year. You will see by the asterisks that there are 3 new schools where we are attending, 3 new universities where we are attending education career fairs this year. We are being very strategic in which fairs we attend. Laurentian was one. If you were always social media, you may have seen Anna Gowan, one of our HR managers last week, about Laurentian, working on recruitment for our teachers who speak French. Our regional job fairs are Brockton, Huron-Kinloch, Going Sound, and Smoky Shores. We take time to promote the excellent opportunities across a number of job classifications at these regional fairs. And we are also engaged in focused job fairs. One that we've attended recently was with the municipality of St. Bruce. This was a fair that was supportive of newcomers to the area. And we attended our HR manager, Anna, and our recruitment officer, Lori, attended that with the support of our lead multilingual language teacher who is promoting education of Legal Data. In addition, we have received funding to support French recruitment, and so we have built in a French recruitment strategy. Also really important to understand that in Blue Water, we recognize that our student teachers are one of the highest yielding opportunities that we have. When we are looking at new teacher recruitment, it's important that their experiences are positive and that we are supporting their growth and looking to provide an opportunity for them in the future. We have great mentorships that we offer here in Blue Water related to supporting our student teachers. As well, we offer days like a teacher candidate appreciation event. This typically happens in approximately March, April, where we invite all of our teacher candidates here to the board office. We provide sessions for them on items like how to understand the recruitment process in Blue Water, how to access job postings, as well as a fulsome service around interviewing strategies. And we've had excellent feedback from our candidates about how this giving has supported them in their journey in their career. Finally, prior to leaving our board, we offer all of our qualified student teachers an opportunity to interview with us so that they have the opportunity to join our Here's an example. Morgan Kirk was a student teacher with us, and I'll just give you a second to read, if you can, what Morgan had to say, highlighting her experience here in Blue Water and how she helped support it through the experience from the mentorship that she received, as well as the support through the teacher candidate evening, and what that has meant for her in terms of next steps. And finally, we are about promotion, promotion, promotion here at Blue Water. We want everyone to know what an excellent employer we are, and what opportunities we have to offer, because the opportunities are vast in this organization. We continue to look at enhancing our careers website. We are working with our communications department to revamp and refresh that area as a resource. As well, we are developing resources that we can hand out when we attend job fairs or when we are meeting with potential employees. Overall, we understand that people have choice and that we need to market Blue Water as the place to be in terms of an employment opportunity, and we are committed to doing that work from start to finish as we offer employment opportunities on board and then support people further. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Comments, questions for Superintendent McEwen? I don't see any, but going away. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, go ahead, Trustee Craig.
This board, it seems to me, is formally and also really at the emotional grassroots level committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. At this point in time, those principles are being attacked throughout North America. I won't go into the details, but there's an awful lot of backlash against DEI. So I would like to ask if presenting that aspect of the value system of Blue Water is part of what you present when you're seeking people who might be interested in working here.
We absolutely believe in ethical hiring practices here in Blue Water. We have a procedure that guides us in terms of our decision making. We also have strong values around a sense of belonging and creating a safe environment. And part of that is understanding that students who attend our schools need to see themselves reflected in the environment and in the staff that they encounter through our schools. So we understand that there's work that we need to do and continue to do that work around recruitment. But it is important work and we have a strong commitment to do that.
Supplemental to this question? Okay, go ahead. Yes.
I understand that, accept that. I'm just wondering how specifically you communicate to prospective employees what this value system of our board entails. Do you give them a written piece about our DEI principles or our value system? Is it verbal? How does it work?
It is done in a variety of ways. Our job postings, first of all, have information available to people in a written format. As well, we do recruitment through various focused job fairs, as you saw me share previously. And this year we are focused on recruitment in the area of French. As well, we attended a newcomer session. Last year, I don't know if you recall, we also had a session where we focused recruitment and worked with Y Employment and Junction Community Initiatives around recruitment for Black families and Afro-Caribbean families. And we worked in those partnerships to ensure that we promoted the values that we have here in Blue Water.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Is there further questions? I don't see any, but I didn't have a comment. I was very pleased to see in the written report that it said when it said the new initiatives enhance French teacher recruitment using Ontario Public School Board Association funding for support. And that was really important, obviously. I mean, I'm the vice president of OPSPA, but it's very much the fact that the Ontario Public School Board represents boards. You know, it's not a trustee organization like our counterparts who represent boards. And that therefore we provide supports and services to, you know, public boards across the province. And it is particularly important to what I call small, and, you know, small or rural, you know, or northern boards, because you're small, we don't have the staff often or necessarily all the I need to say money to do those kinds of recruitment. So they realized that was a service they could offer. So I was very happy to see it there. So thank you very much. Go ahead, trustee Peters.
Just a quick question. The recruitment, I think, is really important in doing a stand-up job. But having been involved in 4 school boards throughout my busy career, retention. Do you have any data in terms of, apart from the school board's closer benefit for me, in terms of why first year or second year teachers would leave Blue Water to go to that board?
Yeah, we monitor our statistics very closely in HR, and one of the stuff that we look at is resignation or retirements in terms of people choosing to leave. Specifically, staff who have been hired permanently. And we're actually seeing a decline in trend over the last few years in people choosing to leave the board. And I don't have the numbers, sorry, they're going to be related to that. But we are watching that, and we're also looking forward and doing, you know, some predictive measures, looking at current situations for individuals and trying to predict what that will look like over the coming years to know if we will have any gaps in specific areas related to our staff.
Great, okay.
And trustee Thompson.
I just, I'm going back to a previous presentation about onboarding, but I think I've heard it in this presentation. Also, I just want to acknowledge the work that Blue Water does to support our staff from the moment they join us as a student teacher to an occasional teacher to a long-term occasional, you know, to wait until they're a permanent teacher. There may be lots of opportunity in our school system that they could have been supported. So I really appreciate that Blue Water offers that.
Any further questions, comments concerning the report? I see none. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next up is that I'd like to invite the Special Education Advisory Committee Chair Atkinson to speak to the Special Education Advisory Committee report. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair Johnston. I'd like to bring to your attention, there's an error. And I don't have it from Lauren's team. Evie Kingston is not from KDSS. She is from JDSS. And we've tried to get this fixed for a few weeks now, but it will be corrected. Evie is from JDSS. So we met for our first meeting. We met on Monday, September the 29th here at the Educational Center. We had a review of the Identification, Placement and Review Committee, that there was a survey that went out. And although the survey numbers were about 64 out of the parents that had children that had an IPRC, it was greater than it was the year before. So we're trying to come up with a solution on how to get that information, that short survey, to the parents that take part in the IPRC process. All the results, everyone felt that they were treated well through the process and that their questions were answered, and they felt very comfortable with the information that was shared. There was one student that Lauren will be following up with, and other than that, there were no major issues that were brought forward. we had a presentation from Deborah McCauley, the behavioral expertise professional on summer programming for students with special needs. And who doesn't want to go and paint on a horse or make pottery or bake fresh bread in Flusherton? It's always something that we see first of the school year, and it's always a wonderful way to start our SEAC meetings is her report. And unfortunately, we made such a fuss over Deb. The poor Calvin followed from the manager of financial services, followed with his report. But we did welcome him, Andrew. We did to take very good care of him. And seeing just what the funding for special education and what good it does. So I did apologize for saying Deborah was my favorite presentation. SEAC. I gave a trustee report, a brief report. The agencies gave also a brief report. We have you'll see next meeting, there's been a nomination for Autism Ontario, and that is Tara Lumpscombe. She reached out to me 2 weeks ago and asked if I would start the process of her being a member of our committee. We unfortunately had to say goodbye to Karen Stockwell from FASD World. She resigned due to the fact that FASD World no longer exists. I did reach out to Karen, and she is considering becoming a member at large. So we have one more spot for a member at large, and she is considering that. And that is my report. Oh, and we welcome back Chanel Nixon from Mat Leaf.
Oh,
We had a busy meeting. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just don't want to hit the other button, but I will. I mean, if I have to, I'll hit it and make a lots of noise, but I won't do that. So thank you very much for your report. Is there any comments or questions concerning the report before you?
No, okay.
Okay. I've not saw hand in the back. I don't see any. Thank you very much, Trustee Atkinson, for your thorough report. Next is that we're going to policy standing committee. First of all, I'm going to invite Trustee Luce, who is the chair of that committee, to speak to the report. And when you're done, I'll put the motion on the floor. Okay, Trustee Luce?
Sounds great. So on Tuesday, September 16th. Yep. Sorry. Forgot what month it was right now for a minute. We had our first policy standing committee meeting of this school year. We reviewed the schedule of meetings as well as the cyclical review schedule for policies. We sent 2 policies to the system for review, safe arrival and access to board premises. And then there's one policy which is coming up in the recommendation that we are recommending to the board for approval. And that is my report, unless there are further questions. Thank you.
Is there any questions concerning that particular report, not the recommendation I'm going to put on the floor? I don't see any. Okay, so now I'm going to put the recommendation on the floor. That Blue Water District School Board consider approving board policy BP 7523-B, workplace violence as revised for system use. Can I have a mover, please? Thank you, Trustee Luce. Okay, there is a recommendation on the floor. Is there any questions or comments concerning that recommendation before you? Okay, I see none. All in favor? And that is carried. Is there any, now we're on B3, is there any new notices of motion going forward this evening for consideration at the board meeting on the 21st? Okay, I don't see any. So now we're at C, new business and announcements. We didn't have any new business that was brought forward at the beginning of the agenda. And now we're at announcements. Are there any announcements you want to bring forward? Okay, Trustee Atkinson.
And teacher, so last evening, we had our first PIC meeting, which is the Parent Involvement Committee meeting. I'm not here to report on it, but I'm asking my fellow trustees to do me a favor. When you're out and about at your school councils or your SECs or your parent council, whichever your school may call them, I'd like you to ask them if they would like one from every school to join our committee. We have a very unique new bunch of parents that are very enthusiastic. We have a lady that is from the Philippines. We have a man who is with learning disabilities. So we have a very diverse group, and when we go to the chat, they all know each other. And so it was a very good meeting. So we would like to see every school represented on the screen and pick. So if you could please pass the word. They don't have to be on your school council. They're a parent and they're welcome to join PIC. If you could send them to myself or Keith, and we'll get them to Mary Lou, and the invitation will be sent to them. We have 3 more meetings, January, March, and May, and they'd be very welcome to join. It's virtual, so it's about an hour and a half of their time, and we'd be glad to have them. Now this one's for Fran. Fran, one of my little friends said to me today, I'm not saying you're old, Mrs. A, but if you were a banana, we'd be baking banana bread. So I'm not saying. That, Fran.
Thank you, Tracy.
Out of the mouths of our students' voices. I asked for it, and so this one came full circle, and I thought, oh my goodness. Quite witty.
Okay, any further announcements to be made here? I have an announcement. I have a couple. So first one, local government week is coming up, trustees and student trustees. So just let you know that it is the week of October 20th to the 24th. And the Ontario Public School Board has sent out information in an email to all you trustees, because it would be a great, with information and, you know, how to do that, you know, you should be visiting grade 5 or grade 10 classes for local government week. So just to let you know, I know that when you read the OSPA covering email, they'll say, you know, well, hook up or, you know, meet with a local council. I would suggest that you might want to consider actually doing something with your local student trustees and senate in their high school, in their grade 10 class, because a lot of times, I mean, you talk about student voice, but that would be a perfect opportunity. So, Isha, you will be having a conversation. And so that is one. And then also for trustees on November 1st, our first regional meeting for the Western region. And that is going to be in Seaforth at their board office for Avon Maitland. And that would be really important. Now, I think there might be a hybrid option. So for people who do not want to travel there, and it's an extremely important meeting because it's going to be highlighting structural changes for OSPA. They want your input. So it is an important meeting. And for my area, particularly on Friday evening at 8 p.m. is the KDSS secondary grad, which I will be attending on time and in person. There's a joke here, you guys. I do the grade 8 grad this year at KDSS, so I have a lot of makeups to do. Anyway, and I'm sure there might be other grads that are in your area for Friday evening. And those are my announcements. Go ahead, Tracy.
Walkerton Community Schools also, their commencement at 8 o'clock on Friday, and I will be attending.
Any other announcements? It would put their hand up? No. Okay. Now we're on to trustee calendar of events. It's the beginning of the school year essentially, so there's a lot more events, and as we progress throughout the year, there'll be less. Be none. Okay, And then finally, I just have to go and grab the last place. Blue Water District School Board, a governance standing committee adjourn at 7:49 PM. Can I have a mover? Thank you, trustee Morgan, and you are adjourned. Thank you very much and stay home.
Go Chase, go.